Okay, so this is really just to give you an idea of how you can start a will for your client rather than sending them a link. So it's really straightforward. You click on Start Will for Client. You've got a blurb there or an explanation as to what you're going to do and a few tick boxes to confirm that you understand what you're doing. And basically, in order to start, you need to take all of these and agree to them. So you first of all need consent from the client to share their information with the platform. That the client must review and complete the will themselves. So whilst you can start it and complete the whole thing for them, you cannot submit it. That we're not responsible for any errors or omissions that you make on your client's behalf, and that you understand the client must create their own password and take control of their account. Now, there isn't actually much for you to do in that regard. Our system will take care of all of that. But once you've ticked all of them, you can click Start to Create Will. At this point, you need to choose whether you're doing a single will or whether you're creating a will for the client and their partner. So, as with anything, you would also need the client to consent that they can give consent for their partner, of course. But you choose the one that's most relevant. So we'll do both of them so you can see what that looks like. So again, I'll use a form filler just for ease so you can see how it works. So pop in the client's first name, last name, and their email address, and then move to the partner's details and then repeat the event in exactly the same way. So their name, last name, and email address, and click continue. You then have a decision to make in regards to the partner. Now, the client that you're talking to, the system will take you in and will automatically let you start their will. So the first person's data that you put in, that's the person's will that you're going to be helping to complete and talk about. But for the partner, you can choose to start that. So once you've finished with your client, you can then move on to the partner and access that. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. Or you could just send an invite to them. So the partner would essentially follow the same process as if they're clicking on the link themselves and completing it. So there would be no pre-completed data for them. The choice is entirely up to you. Once you make it, you can't reverse it. So it's one way or the other. So we'll just do, I'll start the will. Now, the system will then put you into exactly what the client will see. It'll tell you who you're working on behalf of. So this is your first client. Our system will allow you to make changes and come back to this anytime within the next 6 days or 7 days in total. You'll see. So you can fill out as much data as you want, but it works in exactly the same way. It's gated. So whatever data you fill in, we'll just pop that in there. So there's something in there. Click Save and Continue. Ooh, make sure I've got a marital status selected. Save and Continue. Save and Continue. Save and Continue. And then that's done. So I can move on to the next stage. It might be that you want to fill out all of it with your client. It might be that you just want to raise the fact that the client needs to talk about who their guardians would be for their children, who their executors would be, and whether they're going to protect those or not. So depending on where you bring this into your conversation. But essentially, all you would do, you can go back to the portal and then you've got your client wills. So there's the one that we've just started there. Tells you the date that you've got access to it, so that there's 6 days remaining. If you do nothing and just wait till the 2nd of December 11:06, our system will automatically hand it over to the client. Now, you can see here wills that I've created previously. Once they're handed over, I have no access to them. So it becomes the client's property. It's their data, their responsibility to deal with. So you've got the partner that we created there, so we can continue working on those. Now, apologies, that's the first one that we created. You've got the partner that we created there. So when we go in there, there's no data at all, and we can just click back to the portal. So we can deal with both of those and I'll come back to those anytime. And as you saw before, the data has saved automatically. When I'm ready and I want to hand that over, all I do is click hand over to the client, confirm that I want to do that, and that's it. Client then has control. They'll receive an invitation along with a temporary password to access their account, in which they'll need to reset. But it is that straightforward. And obviously, if you want to create a new one, just start a new will. There you go.